this evening's whispered video, we would talk about some of my jewellery, and I have dolled myself up, put on lots of jewellery, much more than I normally wear, and I thought I'd go through each of the bits and tell you any interesting stories about it. So let's start off with my earrings. As you can see, these are quite dangly, and they wouldn't be ones I normally wear every day, but they are part of a set, and I also have the necklace as well. I bought them probably 15 years ago from TK Maxx, and they are by Pilgrim, and I like Pilgrim jewellery. It feels nicely made. The clasps I find trustworthy, and I like the fairly simple designs. And this is the matching necklace, and I went through a phase of loving orange, especially accessories. So I had orange belts, orange bags, and I really loved the design on the flowers. It's a sort of enamelled pattern. I'm not sure if it is enamel, maybe acrylic, and then it's got these little glass bits in the middle, and these little flowers are quite cute on the chain, and then the clasp itself has another two orange flowers, and then the logo is on this little metal bit. Yeah, so Pilgrim, I think it's a Danish design from memory. I would really only wear the necklace and earrings together if I had a very plain dress or top on. I think it would be too much with stripes, for example. It'd be very plain, open neck top, but I like them individually as well. So that's the first piece. I've got two necklaces I'm wearing right now as well. Moving on to necklaces. I've got two necklaces on today. This is one you've probably seen me wear. This one, I'm currently wearing this a lot. It is a Tree of Life, and I bought it when I was in Glastonbury. It's you see a lot of this pendant when you're in Glastonbury. I think every shop has them. This one I had with the I think it's a tourmaline stone, but you can get various stones. And I bought the pendant. It didn't come with a chain, so I just switched with a chain I already had. wasn't too nervous, but she spent a long time marking my earlobes with a little pen to make sure that when she does the piercing it was going to be central and equal on both sides. And she seemed to spend quite a long time doing this. But when she actually did the piercing, when I looked, this ear is off centre, and it is to this day. I've never really bothered about having a new piercing. It's just one of those things. Probably no one else would notice, but I do. This one is definitely off centre to that one. But it's one of those memories that makes me remember that day. And I think the first earring I had in that day was a little gold stud, and I was given a bottle of some liquid that I could clean my ears with twice a day, and I can probably still remember the smell of that lotion even now. And I came home feeling super grown up, but I couldn't switch out those gold studs for 6 weeks, and ever since I've really had to be careful with earrings because I'm sensitive, a little sensitive, so some metals really irritate. And I have tried to have this area pierced. I had it pierced and a little hoop, but it never really took. I developed a reaction and I had to take it out, and then the hole closed up and I was never able to get another one in, and now you can't even see where that piercing went. So my ears have remained with just the one piercing. I'm also wearing another necklace, and it's another one by Pilgrim, and it is a long necklace, and I like this if I'm wearing a casual top or dress. It's maybe a bit plain. I like wearing this just to add a little bit of interest, and it's got 2 little pendants on it that have little clasps, like keychains, I suppose, and one of them is a flower, the little small studded detail, and it's got the name Pilgrim on the back. And this one is a sort of a turquoise coloured charm, and I had this necklace given to me as it is with these charms on, and it was given to me when I left a job. My team clubbed together to buy me this, so really good memories. It was a lovely team, and yeah, treasure this one. So as for watches, I've been given some really lovely watches, but I mostly stick to my Apple Watch because it's so useful for everything. I can answer my phone if my phone is in another room, or my heart rates and everything is on here, so I rarely wear any other watch now other than this one. So let's move on to my rings. And first of all, the one I never take off is my wedding ring. It is extremely plain. It is a simple white gold band, bags, and I saw this one, and the assistant said it's a trilogy, and it is a stone for your past, your present, and your future. And I thought that was a great story. So yeah, that is my engagement ring. Over this side, I'm very fond of this ring, and this is from the 1930s, I think. It belonged to my great aunt, who was a young girl in the 20s and 30s, and I think it's a garnet, I'm not sure. It's cut in a very simple style. It is not a flashy, sparkly ring, but I love the setting. Very art deco, very simple, and I like it. It does stand up quite a lot when it's on, but it's not flashy. I like the simple lines on it. So yeah, and I do have another ring here to show you. I can't really wear this any longer. My fingers seem to have gone a lot fatter than when I was young. But this ring is a diamond. Not sure what you call it. There are I think there's about 5 little diamonds in a line, and I believe it is 18 karat gold, and it is my grandmother's engagement ring. Now my grandmother would have got married she was born in 1897, so I think 1920s she would have got married, so it is very old. Again, a very simple, nice, stylish setting. I love it, and I wish I could wear it. I used to. My mother gave it to me when I was 21, I think, and I used to be able to wear it, but sadly no longer. But yeah, that's a precious one. Now, I've got a bracelet here that is very ASMR. It is so jingly jangly. Sort of a charm bracelet. I bought it as it is, with all these charms on, from one of those jewellery parties that used to be all the rage in the 70s and 80s, and I do love it, but I can only wear it for shorter periods of time because the constant jingling does get on my nerves a little bit after a while. It is by a company called Melio. I think it might have been Italian. There's the name here. is dog tags. The little tags are made of cardboard, and they are held together with this little piece of string. I'm not sure if it is original or whether it was replaced at some point. And again, I can only assume that this chain is the original one. But you can just about make out on the cardboard here my father's name and his army number. And I just can only imagine what these tags saw during his time in the war. My mother had my dad's medals as well, his war medals, but I've kept these. My dad sadly is no longer with us. He died, 10 years ago. He lived to a very great age, 92. Also related to my dad, again, it's not really jewellery, but my dad bought me this when I qualified as a nurse. If any of you are nurses, you may remember a time when you qualified that you were allowed to wear a buckle. This one is silver, and it was a very proud moment when you passed your finals. You became a qualified nurse. You could wear this buckle on a belt with your uniform. Now these days you're not allowed to wear buckles as part of your uniform because of concerns from infection control that they carry bugs. But I remember being very proud to wear my buckle. And this is the belt material that was part of my uniform the last time I wore this buckle. And just look how tiny my waist was. I don't think I'd get that around my leg maybe nowadays. I did have a very tiny waist. Yeah, happy memories. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the little